What has transpired here at the First Bank Center here in Denver, Colorado? It wasn't just a big night of fights. It was a big night of memorable moments.
Conor McGregor with us here in Denver, Colorado. Good left hand from Rockhold. Right hand, right back from Mike Perry.
Can I get a face-off with Conor McGregor, man?
It's an incredible setup here, incredible matchmaking, incredible storytelling. Oh, you had to come here. All these fighters that step in here, warriors, and all have my respect. And I'm into this game, yeah. We'll be into this, yeah.
And we are live here in the Maverick Center here in Salt Lake City. What a night. It is going to be historic indeed for BKFC 56.
Whoever's the king of violence right here, this is going to be a great fight.
Perry on the turn. Right hand from Mike Perry. Double jab. Who's the king of violence? I am!
Combat fighting in its purest form, bare knuckle fighting in the city of angels.
80 seconds.
We've got the biggest announcement in the BKFC history we're about to make, so let's make that announcement.
What's up, Knucklemania? The notorious Conor McGregor here. Ladies and gentlemen, the huge announcement that I have for you today. Conor McGregor, myself, and McGregor Sports and Entertainment is now an owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Welcome to the big leagues. David Feldman, baby, we did it.
He's now an owner of BKFC with us, and we're going to take this motherfucking thing all the way to the top now.
Great friends, what's going on? It is Tuesday. It is Kaplan and Crew. We are in the 7 Mile Casino Studios, 7milecasino.com. Got Grande and the Brown Man and all the great friends are doing what I just did because you just got a notification on Twitter, probably something cooking for you on Facebook. YouTube just sent out a notification, and we have just hit the airwaves of channel 159 on Sirius XM. We are plastered all over SportsGrid TV, whether you're using a Roku, Amazon Prime, a Samsung, a Vizio, I don't know, a Fubo. You got the story. We're everywhere, and we're glad to have everybody with us here today on a Tuesday. Grande, Brown Man, what's going on, gentlemen? How we doing today?
Doing great, man. Doing fantastic today.
I'm watching a little Olympics. I was watching the women's soccer team. Now I'm into live coverage of surfing. I say live coverage. Alex, they just showed the guy, I don't know where he's from, but the dude who hit that wave and then jumped up into the air and like gave a number 1 sign from, I think that was like last week. But I'm watching a little bit of surfing right now in the Olympics. So I'm all in. I was watching last night a lot of balance beam exercises last night. And let me tell you something. When those girls fall, like that Suni Lee, when she fell and hits her, her entire undercarriage on that balance beam, dude, that looks painful.
Yeah, I remember watching the team all-around final, and one of the competitors fell, and the announcer goes, "Oi, I think we're going to start seeing a lot more girls fall now." And it didn't happen in the all-around final, but I remember she said that. And yesterday, I felt like was it slippery? What was going on? Everybody was falling off that thing yesterday. Like the girl that won the gold was the first ever Italian to win a medal on the balance beam. And they got 2. They got gold and bronze.
I love the close-up shots of their feet on the balance beam because when they're like, whoa, and they're like going to fall off, and then you see how freaking strong their toes are. Like talons, man. Like their toes on the balance beam. You're like, damn, girl, look at them toes grip that balance beam. I was fascinated last night watching the failures on the balance beam. Brown, you get any of Simone Biles on the balance beam last night?
No.
Yeah, that's what we thought.
Yeah.
Well, what's your deal? What are you just now
no
putting
need.
on your headphones now? You don't need to put them on before the show starts? You just casually come into the show? Is that the deal?
No, I was working.
You were working?
I was doing multiple things at once.
Oh, really?
So I can hear the show without the headphones on, but I'm 100% sure that the show can't hear itself through the microphone. So therefore, I can hear you, and as I'm working, I'm listening, and then I put the headphones on.
Oh, all right. Well, whatever you're saying.
I don't have no idea
have
what he's
no
just saying.
idea what you're saying. Let me tell you guys, we got a lot to get to today. A lot of NFL training camp news. We're going to get there. There's a lot of rumors about a potential trade for Brandon Ayuk, and that's been a big story here at the preseason. So we'll talk about that. We'll get there coming up. Big night last night in the National League West as the Dodgers beat the Phillies. But wait a second, here come the Padres and the Pirates that are going to start today. So we got a lot of baseball stuff we're going to talk about as the afternoon or the mid-morning, depending on where you are in the country, goes on. And everybody's getting involved in our live YouTube chat right now. If you go to youtube.com/Kaplan and Crew, that's where the live YouTube chat is taking place. So I can see people are hanging out on Facebook. They're watching on Facebook. They're watching on Twitter. But most of the people are watching here now who are commenting are in our YouTube channel. So get involved in the live YouTube chat. And of course, anywhere you are in the country, channel 159 on Sirius and all over SportsGrid TV. Let me start off this morning or midday with this story. So Browner, remember you said about 2 weeks ago you were going to win a 5K race?
Yeah.
So I decided I'm going to join you. I'm going to start running again. So for the last 2 mornings, I have woken up.
I regret that decision, by the way.
Well, are you staying with it or are you quitting?
No, I'm not quitting. I regret it because it hurts.
Okay. The last 2 mornings, I have decided to wake up and hit the road and start running at 6:30 a.m. Okay. And it's a slow run. It's not like real running. It's a little bit faster than walking, but slightly slower than jogging. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not impressive in the slightest bit, okay?
My concern is how far, how long, how far.
So I probably in the last I think I've done like 4 miles each day the last 2 days, 3.5 to 4 miles, okay? But super slow, right? But here's the bigger problem. I woke up yesterday morning. I didn't tell you guys this. I woke up yesterday morning and it's pitch black in my bedroom, okay? There's no lights on. It's completely dark. But I know where I'm going, right? If you're going to walk from your bed to the toilet, you know where you're going, right? You don't need lights, do you?
I do.
Know, yeah.
There's a dog on the floor most of the time that I try not to trip over.
Okay. I don't have the dog in the room in the bed. The dog sleeps in my daughter's room every night. So I walk to the bathroom and I am barefoot and it's dark out. And I step on something. And I know immediately what I've stepped on because it had sort of a little bit of a crunch on the outside and then sort of a smush on the inside. And
crunch and a smush?
Yeah, crunch outside, smush.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm barefooted and it's dark, but I know exactly what I've just stepped in.
A crunch and a smush?
Yeah, because the thing is I was out of town all weekend. So when I leave town, I usually close my bedroom door. I don't want my girls to go into my bedroom, and I don't want the dog to go into my bedroom. Well, don't you know that I never saw it, okay? But I felt it. Crunch, smush. Barefooted.
Smell.
Well, I didn't smell it in advance. But I felt it. Crunch, smush, then smell, and I stepped in a pile of dog duty that my dog apparently decided to leave for me as a gift on my bathroom floor.
Nice.
And dog sleeping outside now, bro. No.
I thought you got rid of that dog.
It's penalty for that.
No, I get rid of the dog when my girls go off to college. You know, as long as the 2 girls are still at home, then the dog stays here with me. But as soon as these 2 go back to school, one's leaving in mid-August, one's leaving in mid-September. Once they go back to school, man, dog is gone.
No,
but there I was.
So did that like impact your run? Is that why you were running slow?
Well, so what happened is I had to then I had to stand there. I had to analyze the situation. Crunch, smush, smell.
Right.
I now know what happened.
Right.
Then I have to walk over 1 foot. I got to walk over to the bathtub, turn on the bath water, use my phone to turn on the light because I can't walk to the light because then I'm going to smush it all over the place.
Yeah.
And then I had to clean my foot off.
On a scale of like the worst ways to wake up, that's up there. You know, you're thinking about like you can stub your toe, you can wake up with, I don't know, a cramp. I'm just thinking out loud. For me, like if I have one of those stand-up chargers, I don't plug my phone in. I just kind of like stand it on a charger. If I wake up and I'm like at 3% because it didn't charge that night. That's a bad way to start the day because I'm about to go handle my business for the next 30 minutes. I need that phone. So, I mean, there's on that list, dog poop, probably number one.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing. It's one thing to step in dog poop outside on grass. You know what I mean? It's another thing to step on it barefooted in your own house.
The worst way to wake up is with a child cannonballing you right in the midsection. Right in the midsection. There's no worse way to wake up. No, nope, nothing beats it. I would step on poop every morning if that never happened to me again. No, thank you. No, thank you.
Cannonball kid, huh?
Just as much as their little vert can do, it's right into the center of your body while you're dead asleep. Dead asleep. Boom. No, thank you. No,
fam.
No. I almost gave my kids a black eye because of that, man. No. No. I love you, son, but I hurt you next time you do that.
Yeah, and I love you, dog, but you can't be doing that in my bathroom.
The crunch part, I still don't understand.
That dog's too old to be still doing that in the house.
Yeah.
Well, what happens is that the dog gets left by himself, and then there's nobody to let him out or take him out, and that's ultimately what happens. So, all right, well, look, it's a better day today. That's all I can start off with. It is a better day today for us. Maybe not a great day for Jim Harbaugh, because you remember when people said that Pete Carroll left USC to go to the Seahawks because he knew what was coming for USC? Well, doesn't it kind of look like Jim Harbaugh left Michigan because he knew what was coming for Michigan? We'll start with that story coming right up. This is Kaplan and Crew.
That race for the Cy Young, pretty much as equally compelling and intriguing as the race for the wild card spots in the National League.
And also keep in mind, this team doesn't pitch the entire season, so his ERA gets affected much, much more if he has a poor outing than, let's just say, Chris Sale or Zach Wheeler that's been there all season long. This would be a fun one to watch it play out, but the big loser last night were the Phillies and Zach Wheeler.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Where are you at in terms of a starting lineup? What you want to see from Team USA?
I think he'll get guys involved, and then there's your lockdown defender at the point guard, the point of attack, right? I do like Curry. I would then go with Ant. I like Ant over Booker. I think if you look at the way the Canada game was, they looked kind of slow starting, and then they kind of got rolling.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
The silver and the bronze. I give you Canada, France, Germany, Serbia, and Australia.
Germany, more so than Canada. I think that their talent, it's a little more tiered. You know what Dennis Schroeder's capable of. Franz Wagner, another player. Daniel Tice steps up, and Mo Wagner as well. They're built to really take advantage of the mistakes that Team USA makes, and they can make the effort plays.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
However many units are on the line, however many people, however many cocktails, like it's a perfect scorecard. And someone questioned him on one hole. He's like, well, one thing I never get wrong is the scorecard. And then we're on like 13 and he's added up and he's like, this is wrong.
I looked back from number 13 and I'm like, I'm missing $140 somewhere. I don't know where I'm missing it. And I'm looking back and I'm like, no, yeah, it doesn't match up on 11. And I got to track it back to like number 7.
Only on SportsGrid.
.com. Hey, before we talk about Jim Harbaugh and the allegations against Michigan, and by the way, the look that today, we can all remember when Jim Harbaugh was contemplating whether or not he was going to leave Michigan to go to the NFL and specifically to go to the Chargers. And today, when you start to see the allegations, you think to yourself what many people speculated about years ago when Pete Carroll left USC to go to Seattle. Everybody's like, well, of course he left USC. Look at the mess that he left behind. Why would he want to stay here and be a part of all of that? He leaves. He gets to go to the NFL. He gets to make a whole bunch of money. He doesn't have to deal with any of the problems that he left behind. And it looks like Jim Harbaugh is somewhat in the same boat, if that's what you believed about Pete Carroll. We'll get to that story coming up in a matter of seconds. Grande, Brown Man, I don't know if you guys have seen this. On social media, our man Chase Fisher, the CEO and founder of Blenders Eyewear, has put out a challenge. And when I saw this challenge on social media, I said to myself, we got to bring Chase on immediately and have him tell everybody, not just in Southern California, but everybody around the country, listening on Sirius XM channel 159, watching on SportsGrid TV. We got to have Chase come on and tell us about this. He'll be on tomorrow. Alex, tell us the story about what Chase is offering to everybody from Blenders Eyewear.
Okay. Yeah, I saw this on social media yesterday. We didn't even get a heads up. The Blenders Tattoo Challenge, calling all loyal blend heads. You have been called to duty to show your stripes for life. The mission is simple. Get the same tattoo that Chase Fisher has on his wrist, same size, same place, same tat, any color you want. The reward, a $2,000 store credit to redeem your and by the way, they'll pay for your tattoo. I'm trying to find it. This is it. That's a tattoo right there. 2 stripes on the wrist, any color you want. Blenders will pay for your tattoo. If you do it, all you got to do is DM them. The rules are right here. DM at Blenders or email tattoo@blenderseyewear.com, and they'll pay for your tattoo. And when you show proof, they will give you a $2,000 store credit. And as someone that's bought in, it's like 5-6 pairs, that's about sunglasses for life.
If you have $2,000 worth of blenders and you are paying about $60 a pair, oh God, I can't believe I'm going to try and do this.
Don't even do this.
60 into 2,000,
Come
1, 2, 3.
man.
Yeah, that's like 35 pairs of sunglasses.
Right.
Okay. Now look, I can tell you this right now. I don't have any tattoos. I got no tattoos on this body. Okay. And don't plan on getting any tattoos. But I'll say this: if I had a bunch of tattoos on my body, I'd get that little Blenders tattoo right here, and I would get my $2,000 worth of. And by the way, and he'll pay for the tattoo. I mean, this is a no-brainer. BlendersEyewear.com, and the email address was tattoo@blenderseyewear.com. Correct?
Tattoo@blenderseyewear.com, or DM them at Blenders on Instagram.
Chase Fisher, the founder of Blenders, will be here tomorrow. He'll put the challenge out to everybody.
I sent this to all my tatted friends, and I was like, hey, you guys just want $2,000 of free sunglasses? With all the other stupid tattoos you guys have, this will be one of your best. This will be one of your best.
For people who get tattoos, this is light work. This is nothing.
Totally nothing. Totally nothing. Especially,
Bernard
man.
Thompson.
Yeah.
Sending my DM right now.
Oh, BT, he's going. BT's all tatted out, man. He got Lakers. You know, he got stuff all over his neck. He don't care.
For people who love tattoos, this is a layup. This is a free tattoo and $2,000. Me, I would never do it. I don't have no tattoos. I ain't get no tattoos. So this would be a bridge too far for me. But for people who got ink, get busy.
Dude, if you get this tattoo and you get these $2,000 worth of store credits, dude, you will be giving out Blenders sunglasses for gifts for everything. You know, Christmas will come. You'll go in and you'll get 10 pairs of glasses. You'll be giving them to everybody you know.
You have until midnight Pacific time on August 9th to figure out if you want to do this or not.
Okay, today is August 6th. Okay, so you got until this Friday. All right.
Easy work for some of y'all.
All right, real easy. Okay, great. So put it out there, blenderseyewear.com. Take that tattoo challenge and get those $2,000 worth of Blenders Eyewear, no matter where you are. If you're in Southern California, easy, home run, hometown company. If you're in Philly, New York, anywhere on the Eastern Seaboard, think about this now, because we are expanding with Blenders as now the show has expanded to go national. All right, let's come back home now. Jim Harbaugh. I'll throw it to you guys first. Did Harbaugh leave Michigan to go to the Chargers, not because he wanted to jump to the NFL, not because they paid him a fortune, but did Harbaugh leave Michigan because he knew what was coming?
I say this with 100% conviction. 1,000%. It's obvious.
You say 100% conviction?
Those are numbers.
That's a lot of math right
there. You want to
do
math? I'm 100% convinced that the reason Jim Harbaugh left Michigan 1,000% was because he knew what was coming his way.
Big numbers by you.
Well, when you think about the story of when Harbaugh met with the Chargers, then he went back to Michigan. And as I recall, I mean, I got to go back into my memory banks here. One of the things that Harbaugh said to Michigan was, you have to cover me no matter what happens.
Yep.
Right? You know, it was like, hey, look.
You have to pay me regardless of how long I get suspended.
Right.
Yeah.
And so if there are violations And if the NCAA, suspends me or whatever happens, because remember, he was suspended last year when he was at Michigan. I think twice. If they suspend me, you pay me. And so, it was like, wow,
you gotta, anyways, keep going. Just keep going.
I don't even know what certain hand gestures do.
I know.
To make
that's why
the
you
Apple
just gotta
computer.
stop them.
No, I want
turn
them on.
off,
I like them. I just wish but I just wish that Apple would tell me when you do the peace sign, that's when you get the confetti. When you do the heart sign, the Caitlin Clark with your hand, that's when you get the hearts. I don't know what I did here. I did something that made fireworks happen.
You did two,
I don't know
you did two thumbs up. Both of your thumbs went up.
Really? And oh, look at that. Thumbs up is fireworks.
We literally went over this the day you found out about this.
But I forgot. And then I went on to Apple and I tried to figure out what hand gestures do what stuff. So anyway, back to Harbaugh. So it would appear that based on what Harbaugh asked Michigan for when he was in negotiations with the Chargers, when he went back to Ann Arbor and said, cover me regardless of what happens here. And Michigan said, nah, I don't think so. Harbaugh leaving Michigan to go to the Chargers wasn't simply about he's ready for the next challenge. It wasn't simply about they're going to pay me $15 million a year. It seems now like it was more about we're in trouble. I'm the face of this whole disaster. If you guys aren't going to cover me, I'm leaving this trouble in the rear view and I'll go coach in the NFL. We'll dig deeper. Coming right back. This is Kaplan and Crew in the 7 Mile Casino Studios.
Recently, I feel like I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not making bad swings. I don't feel like I'm making terrible decisions, and just had got a little bit of a streak of bad luck on par fives. Didn't birdie any of them at the Open, didn't birdie any of them today. It's just, and I didn't feel like I did anything terribly wrong, right? But that's just golf. It happens. What's done is done, and this week is the most important week of the year right now.
If he lands it pin high, he's going to be off over the pin position and leave himself a tough putt there. That should bite now. He didn't like it by the looks of it, but he'll love it when he sees it.
Just get this before that bunker. Put himself in a good position.
Just a tiny little baby fade, ideally placed.
To tie the lead at 16. Playing well, isn't he, John Rahm?
And OMG, what a championship Sunday we just witnessed.
Win, right? Selfishly, you always want to get that done, but you don't want to see a teammate and a good friend, missing a putt for that happening for me.
The Live Golf League delivers every single event, doesn't it? I mean, what an incredible finish there. You know what, Tyrrell Hatton, I feel for him. He's been playing beautiful golf. In fact, since Miami, he's been the best player in our league based on the strokes gained metric.
I'm really happy that I had my first Live Golf win. Now that Kelly and the kids are watching, just knowing that I'm bringing the trophy home for them, it feels good to say that it's coming home.
If you're looking to buy a house, sell a house, or you need to tap into a home equity line of credit, never make a move in real estate without first talking to our guy, Gary Cooper. 858-376-1299, 858-376-1299. Been with this show for over 20 years. Gary Cooper is our guy. And if you need somebody to help you out, as Alex found out 3 years ago when he bought his first condo, man, it was hard. It was complicated. There were problems right at the very end, but Gary and his team got the deal done. Never make a move in real estate without first talking to our guy, Gary Cooper, 858-376-1299. All right, so Jim Harbaugh, Grande Brown Man.
Yep.
Let's come back to it. So Harbaugh's denying any wrongdoing. No surprise.
Emphatically. Emphatically.
Right. No
Shocker.
surprise, right? Like, is anybody really surprised at all? Right. Let's take a listen to what Jim Harbaugh said yesterday. You know, by the way, this is kind of his new thing. He wants to be super evasive. It's like if he went to the Bill Belichick School of Press Conferences in the last few years while getting a PhD at Michigan of how to evade certain questions, especially when it comes to like injuries. But when it comes to trying to talk his way out of this Michigan allegation, let's take a listen to what Harbaugh said.
Never lie, never cheat, never steal. I was raised with that lesson. I have raised my family on that lesson. I have preached that lesson to the teams that I've coached. No one's perfect. If you stumble, you apologize, and you make it right. Today, I do not apologize. I did not participate, was not aware, nor complicit in those said allegations. So for me, it's back to work and attacking with an enthusiasm unknown to mankind.
That's just so.
It's a great way to end that. It's a great way to end it.
Let me tell you guys right now, everybody who thinks that Jim Harbaugh shows up and all of a sudden the Chargers go from a team that's like a 5-win team to a 12-win team, and they're instantaneous Super Bowl contenders because they've now got an experienced veteran head coach. Get ready, because for those of you unfamiliar with this phenomenon around the country, we know it real well. It's called charging, and it's called Spanosing all over yourself. And Jim Harbaugh can try and talk his way out of this one, but this is what you've brought with you. You've left it in the rear view in Ann Arbor, but it will follow you, and it's not going to be long. I mean, believe me, the news cycle will flush, and this thing will kind of go back to work. Well, I mean,
this thing didn't go away last year.
The NFL doesn't care about this.
No, that's what I'm saying. The NFL doesn't care.
Frankly, people in college don't care about this stuff anymore. They're paying the players now. So if you're saying that Jim Harbaugh should be in trouble because they had a scout on the sideline of the opposing team, that's the other team's security problem.
Yeah.
Well, let's look at the allegations. Let's take a look. let's take a look. Alex, what article are you about to show us here? From whom?
I'm gonna pull up an article here shortly from ESPN, the write-up earlier today. But I just wanted to remind you guys this: when you say like, "Oh, this will go away," or that happens in college when you control who's in your room. In the NFL, you're gonna get peppered by this by everybody, and the more that stuff happens at Michigan, the more questions will be asked of Jim Harbaugh. If this person gets suspended, if this person gets fired, if this AD does this, like the next question the next day will be to Harbaugh.
It will be.
These are the allegations.
It will be, but like Browner says, the NFL doesn't care. He's already moved on. Go ahead, put the allegations up on the screen.
Yeah. New accusations surrounding the Michigan football program emerged over the weekend as a draft of the NCAA notice of allegations was obtained by ESPN. The notice states that Michigan football coach Sharon Moore allegedly deleted a thread of 52 text messages with former Wolverines employee Connor Stalions in 2023 on the same day when reports dropped that Stalions was the centerpiece of Michigan's operation to steal play calling signals of future opponents. Per the notice of allegations, Harbaugh is accused of not cooperating with NCAA's investigation because he didn't allow the organization to review records from his personal cell phone. Harbaugh could face a show cause penalty if he returns to coaching in the college ranks,
which he's not going to do.
No.
I mean, Jim Harbaugh is no longer a college coach. Jim Harbaugh went from the 49ers, where he was very successful, to his back to his hometown. I mean, back to his home turf, and he did what he always does. He wore out his welcome for whatever reason. But in terms of Jim Harbaugh ever going back to college, he ain't going back to college.
No, he's not going back to college.
Can we all just agree to something? And I know Alex agrees.
Probably not.
Let's get rid of the NCAA. Let's do it.
So we're not going to talk about the Harbaugh allegations. We're going to try and solve the whole problem.
Let's get rid of it. Get rid of it. Get rid of it.
You're saying get rid of it?
Get rid of it.
I just want to make sure I understood what you're saying. All right, stick around. Lots to get to. This is Kaplan and Crew on a Tuesday.
What has transpired here at the First Bank Center here in Denver, Colorado? It wasn't just a big night of fights. It was a big night of memorable moments.
Conor McGregor with us here in Denver, Colorado. Little left hand from Ron Paul. Right hand, right back from Mike Perry.
Can I get a face-off with Conor McGregor, man?
It's an incredible setup here, incredible matchmaking, incredible storytelling. Oh, you had to come here. All these fighters that step in here are warriors, and all have my respect. And I'm into this game, yeah. We'll be into this, yeah.
And we are live here in the Maverick Center here in Salt Lake City. Utah Sports, what a night. It is going to be historic indeed for BKFC 56.
Whoever's the king of violence right here, this is going to be a great fight. Perry on the turn. Right hand from Mike Perry. Double jab. Who's the king of violence? I am!
Combat fighting in its purest form, bare knuckle fighting in the city of angels.
We've got the biggest announcement in the BKFC history we're about to make, so let's make that announcement.
What's up, Knucklemania? The notorious Conor McGregor here. Ladies and gentlemen, the huge announcement that I have for you today. Conor McGregor, myself, and McGregor Sports and Entertainment is now an owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Welcome to the big leagues. David Feldman, baby, we did it.
He's now an owner of BKFC with us, and we're going to take this motherfucking thing all the way to the top now.
Of getting the little tattoo with the 2 stripes on your wrist in exchange for $2,000 worth of Blenders sunglasses. So looks like a lot of our tatted friends here are all in on this. B. Thompson is in. Fat Tony is in. Looks like Tommy is in. What does he care? He turned 70 yesterday. He don't care. I mean, the list goes on and on. Everybody seems to be. Dude, Chase Fisher's going to wind up giving away about $100,000 worth of sunglasses if he's not careful.
Maybe.
That's why this thing is only going until this Friday. I'll bet you. So
Yeah, but is that worth $10,000 in marketing? Probably.
Yeah. Hey, what's on your wrist? Oh, that's the Blenders logo. Right. So just to finish up here on Harbaugh, and then we got a lot of other NFL news to get to. Look, is Jim Harbaugh in trouble with the Chargers? No. Does the NFL care about the allegations from Michigan? No. Will Jim Harbaugh tell us about how virtuous of a guy he is? 100% yes. Is he everything he says? The answer is no. By the way, you can go Google this stuff. I don't mean to knock Jim because you guys know I love Jim. I wish he wasn't the coach of the Chargers because I hate the Chargers, but I love Jim Harbaugh. You go back and Google some stuff. When Jim Harbaugh was the coach at the University of San Diego, a couple things happened along the way, and he was a popular guy, and he had a lot of friends in town that had a lot of money, and they squashed that stuff pretty quickly, but I'm sure you could probably find it on Google. He's a performer, to his credit.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll talk, never steal, never lie, never cheat. I was raised on that. I preach that. I teach it to my players at every level, no matter where I'm at. This is who I am. And you just say stuff over and over and over again, and you try and convince people. You try and brainwash people. Kind of sounds like somebody else I know.
But the thing with Harbaugh, though, is like you're right. It's not going to impact the Chargers. It's not. But could it impact Harbaugh transition year already? I genuinely believe so. I think that guy cares so much about the program of Michigan that if it starts deteriorating or if they start getting all these fallouts, I think it can impact him personally on a different level. Like his dad, Jack's still out there. His dad's probably going to be answering more questions about Michigan than Jim is. And I think that the Chargers already have a tough job in front of them. So you were just throwing in another thing into the pile of that of the trouble that's coming their way. I mean, dude, it's already starting. The charging has already started.
You're under the
There's
assumption.
no Justin Herbert.
You're under the assumption that he is even going to care to continue to entertain these questions. This is not, again, Michigan. He doesn't have to answer these questions. And if he doesn't answer the questions, if you want to write about that as opposed to writing about what the actual Chargers are doing, no one's going to read your story.
I don't know if you guys have ever had this. This is kind of one of those things that when he goes as a right-handed quarterback, when he this is going to sound really nerdy right here. This is going to be like total football nerd. Where are my glasses? I got to find my glasses. Here they are. This is going to sound like some real football nerd stuff right here. When Herbert drops back and as a right-handed quarterback puts his weight on his back foot, his right foot, and he goes to push off, and all of a sudden, just as he's going into his throwing motion, he plants his foot and he goes, "Oh, ah!" By the way, this all assumes that the plantar fasciitis is in his right foot, but he goes, "Ooh!" Like I'm telling you right now, it hurts like a mofo.
Yeah. If it's severe, it hurts like a mofo. If you spend basically a month getting the best treatment in the world,
who's giving the best treatment in the world?
Who's he getting
Get outta
treatment
here.
from? Is he getting treatment from the same guys that punctured Tyrod Taylor's lung when they went to try and shoot in some pain medication? Is that who they're getting the treatment from?
Y'all still think that was an accident? That gave us Justin Herbert right out the gate.
Yeah, if we all know anything about the Spanos families, that they definitely have the best of anything in the world.
They just opened a brand new facility, baby.
No, they didn't.
Harbaugh is your coach now. Harbaugh makes your thing right. See, y'all keep thinking it's the old Chargers. This is the Harbaugh-led Chargers, okay? This man came in with gravitas. This man came in the job with titles.
Why did he come in? We just talked about it 2 segments ago.
Bruh, don't nobody care about that.
Yes, he does. What are you talking about?
Nobody care about that.
You're acting like Jim Harbaugh like willingly left Michigan because everything. I just won a championship. Well, I'm good over here. I'm done. You know what? You know. Are full of it, and you don't even believe what you're saying.
Right, you're not a Charger.
You don't
fan.
even believe what you're saying.
You're just like an instigator. That's all.
Because we have your top 5 storylines written down, and nowhere in there did you. It was all Caleb Williams, Justin Fields. You don't care. You don't care, and you don't even believe what you're saying.
Y'all asked me what I was worried about. Okay,
No, I never asked you what you were worried about.
No, he didn't.
In the top 5 things you look
I
for
said,
in the season.
what are your top 5 storylines that you're following in the NFL season? The things that you'll keep your eyes on all season long. And I didn't say, what are you worried about?
Bruh, I don't need to write that down. I told y'all when they hired the man, it's booked. We good. We solid.
So what's going to – okay.
I'm everything else.
So what's going to happen to the Chargers this season under Jim Harbaugh?
AFC Championship.
They're going to win the AFC Championship or they're going to be in the AFC Championship game?
Win it.
They're going to the Super Bowl. Chargers are going to the Super Bowl.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Joe Rigby.
I don't even think they're going to get their win total.
Sir.
I don't even think they're going to get their win total of 8.5. I don't even think they're going to be like an 8-win team.
Yeah. Again, everywhere this man goes, he wins. Why would this be any different when now you have the best quarterback you've ever had at the position and you the quarterback whisperer?
I'll tell you why.
He is.
What happened to Colin Kaepernick without him?
Who?
Andrew Luck. What you mean who?
What? Andrew Luck.
You think that Colin Kaepernick's demise was because Jim Harbaugh left?
No, I'm saying.
Then why would you just say what happened to Colin Kaepernick without him? That's not the story.
While he was with him, rocket ship, baby. While Andrew Luck was with him, rocket ship, baby.
Okay.
I mean, what are we talking about?
But you asked the question,
look at
and
the
I think
track
it's a very important question. Why would it be otherwise with the Chargers?
The winning? What do you mean? Why would it be otherwise?
Yeah.
You said, why would he be different with the Chargers than he was at San Francisco
Anywhere
or he
else.
was at Stanford or he was at Michigan, where he was successful? Why would it be different with the Chargers?
Correct. Why would it? Why would it be different?
Because it's the Chargers.
Bro, when he got to Michigan, it was a dumpster fire.
No. The history of
Michigan.
Michigan preceded Jim Harbaugh.
Well, that's true. The history of college football precedes everybody.
The 49ers are one of the most historic franchises in the NFL.
And how were they doing before he got there?
Don't remember.
I don't remember. Why don't you tell us? Why don't you let us know? Why don't you let us
You
know?
look it up. You look it up.
You look it up, sucker. You look it up. You look it up, fool. No, you don't know the facts. If you knew the facts, you tell us the facts. You ain't know no facts.
Who was the coach before Jim Harbaugh?
Jim Tom Sula.
And they were pretty good.
Yeah, he was. How'd it go? Terrible. Jim came in there.
For 1 year.
Turned around.
Yeah, Tom Sula was there for like 1 year, for one season.
He was terrible, bro.
Right. And they had a chance to hire Harbaugh. But right. And so the 49ers have great ownership. Michigan has great tradition. Just wait. Just wait. You think Harbaugh can overcome the Spanuses? I'm telling you that nothing can overcome the Spanuses because the football gods don't want them to be winners. Trust me. All right, stick around.
And he's a cheater.
Now that you mentioned, hey, listen. Now that you mentioned our top 5 storylines of the NFL season, let's unveil what the 3 of us are all thinking about going into this NFL season next.
Hopefully they learned their lesson. Hey, this ain't the NBA, bro. You don't have 6 fouls, and they will check you on this stuff. And Brooks has a reputation coming into this. You can tell the refs are watching them, and they were on him all the time.
This was 10, 12 years ago. Canada playing Greece with that type of lead that they had. They probably would have mentally crumbled and lost that game to Greece by like 3 or 4 points in the final minute of that ball game.
Sports Rage Late Night, only on SportsGrid.
Try and set the stage for what should be a great year of NFL action.
There's a handful of teams that potentially can compete for a Super Bowl championship.
Confusion and uncertainty this year more than some in the past.
This team looks like it's ready to make a move, but we just don't know if it's bad or good this year.
J.J. McCarthy is eventually going to take over, but it's like it's a no-lose situation for them.
I mean, they suck. They were 7-10.
Only on SportsGrid.
That race for the Cy Young, pretty much as equally compelling and intriguing as the race for the wild card spots in the National League.
And also keep in mind, this team doesn't pitch the entire season, so his ERA gets affected much, much more if he has a poor outing than, let's just say, Chris Sale or Zach Wheeler that's been there all season long. This would be a fun one to watch it play out, but the big loser last night were the Phillies and Zach Wheeler.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Their coach has a personality that is New York City. Tough, grinding, defensive, no holds barred. We muck this game up and we make you play it our way. And Tibbs has been rewarded, and he should be rewarded for what he's done with the Knicks.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Fact, coming up at the top of the hour, Scott Farrell is going to be here. Scott Farrell, to me, is one of the true godfathers of sports talk radio. And Scott Farrell has become the face and the voice of SportsGrid. And when I talked to Scott Farrell before we went on SportsGrid, he said, Kaplan, trust me when I tell you, I worked for Howard Stern. I'm telling you this right now. This is Scott Farrell. I worked for Stern. Nobody has the reach that SportsGrid has. So we'll talk to Scott Farrell about us joining his team and about what he's got going on and what his thoughts are going into the NFL season, what he's got, thoughts on the Olympics, baseball, whatever the case may be. Okay, guys, this segment is being brought to us by Life Brew, L-Y-F-E, lifebrew.com. I'm holding a bag of Life Brew coffee right now. You may be thinking to yourself, what is mushroom coffee? They take naturally grown mushrooms, put them all together, and they make a coffee out of it. And why would you want to take mushroom coffee? Well, turkey tail mushrooms, they're good for, they're antioxidants and they support gut health. The king trumpet mushroom supports, it reduces inflammation in the body. The lion's mane supports memory and focus. The shiitake mushroom, vitamin B. There's a lot of health benefits to drinking Life Brew mushroom coffee. I take 1 scoop of the mushroom coffee, I put it into my regular coffee, and let's have a beautiful day and stay focused. 30% off when you use our code Great Friends. And for those of you that are not in California, here's what I'll tell you. My boy Brett Weiss, who owns this company, he's got another company that does like pre-rolled doobies. Dude, he puts a couple in there for you because he wants you to try those too. 30% off. Use the code Great Friends. Life Brew, L-Y-F-E, lifebrew.com. All right, you guys, as we get ready now for the NFL preseason, and by the way, tomorrow, Thursday night, not tomorrow, 2 days from now, Thursday night, New England takes on Carolina. And oh, by the way, New England is in the news right now because all this talk about Brandon Ayuk from the 49ers being traded, him wanting his way out of San Francisco, it looks like the Patriots are a team that has emerged as the number one potential deal maker here with San Francisco.
Looks like your ex and your new girlfriend are the potential two favorites. Because the Browns are very much into this as well. And I don't know if you guys read this. I know we weren't going to get to this right now, but throwing in Amari Cooper on that deal. What are they doing?
Well, I feel like the Niners are
I think together wouldn't be the point. Like, wouldn't that be the point?
But I think the Niners are essentially saying to anybody who wants to make a trade, you want Brandon Ayuk? We want somebody who can come back here and fill his position. So for us to make this trade, we'll give him to you, but we're not talking about future draft picks. We're talking about somebody who's a starting NFL wide receiver right now. Right. And it looks like New England's got a player, and it looks like Cleveland's got a player. I'm sorry, say again?
Yeah, Kendrick Bourne.
Yeah.
Now, if you choose between the two, which one you taking?
Between Kendrick Bourne and Brandon Ayuk?
No, Amari Cooper.
Who's
the biggest?
I'm not
the biggest difference.
Clear on who you're asking. If you're the 49ers, who would you rather have?
Yes.
Okay.
Because if we're talking about a trade, if Kendrick Bourne is on the Patriots and Amari Cooper is on the Browns, and if I'm the 49ers and I'm looking at the package I'm getting back, if I want a player ready to go right now, which one of those two dudes am I taking?
Well, Kendrick Bourne's going to cost you nothing, and Amari Cooper is like on year 4 or 5 of $100 million contract.
Until we pay Brock Purdy, none of this matters. It's just funny money at this point.
Right, and I think that's the point. I think that's why they want
Kendrick Bourne is not a guy who's like a household name. If you're like a hardcore fantasy player, you might know who Kendrick Bourne is. And keep in mind, of course, that the Patriots have been bad offensively the last few years. So, and they're not getting as many primetime games as the old Brady Belichick teams were. Last year, I'm just looking at the numbers. Kendrick Bourne, 37 catches, 406 yards, 4 touchdowns. So you're getting a young, inexpensive player. And I think to Alex's point, Amari Cooper, that's a top flight number 1 type NFL wide receiver.
But we're giving up a type 1 flight high level wide receiver to you. And isn't the Cooper deal is almost over, yeah? It's a big deal, it's a fat deal, but it's almost over. And that's what you're trying to line up with what you got going on with Brock Purdy and the two high draft picks you have at wide receiver in camp right now. So if I'm the 49ers, I know Cooper can come in and contribute immediately. I know what I'm getting. I'm trying to get assets who I know can fit into my system. If you can interchange those two, the 49ers don't miss a beat. You bring in Kendrick Bourne, you don't know. He might get surpassed by one of these rookies you got in camp.
Yeah, I actually don't disagree with you that if I were the Niners, I'd much rather have Amari Cooper than Kendrick Bourne. But, and by the way, if I'm the Patriots, if I'm going to get Brandon Ayuk and I'm not going to be able to know that I've got him beyond this year, I don't want to do that deal either.
Correct.
Depending on how much I got to give up to get him. So that's
Kendrick Bourne was a Niner before he was a Patriot, though. So
really?
That might be why.
Okay. Any success in his history with the Niners?
I don't have exact numbers, but it looks like a total of, in 4 years, 11 touchdowns. So no, not like amazing.
But in addition to that, if I'm the Patriots, I'm getting Brandon Ayuk. What do you want? We'll give you anything but a first round pick. We'll give you a second. We'll give you a third. We'll give you a second and a third. Because the problem is, go ahead.
The problem with the Patriots is that they're not likely going to win anything this year. And if they're not going to have Ayuk beyond this year, what do they need him for this year? To be respectable?
But that's the thing. He's not going anywhere without an extension.
Right. So if I'm the Patriots, I'm just going to cut the check. We need this guy to develop our wide receiver. The quarterback we have is the most important asset we have for the next 15 years. We need to develop that guy. So I need a number 1 wide receiver who can beat the defense and help my young quarterback develop. What do you want?
Yes. If you can get Ayuk, and if he's going to sign a long-term extension,
pay him.
Then pay him. And if you're the Patriots, I would do that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But from the reporting yesterday and this morning, he's not going anywhere. He's not going to accept the trade without an extension.
Well, if I were the Patriots, you've got a quarterback who's a veteran Band-Aid, kind of a quarterback, and then you've got a first-round rookie who's the future of your organization, or at least you hope that's the case, you need a number one wide receiver.
Yep.
I just don't know if he's that guy, though.
And by the way, I still have question marks about that as well. You know, when I say that Brandon Ayuk is not the number one with the 49ers, everybody comes back to me and they go, well, you know, the other guy is sort of a gimmick guy. You know, he's kind of a hybrid wide receiver and running back. Yeah, I go, yeah, but he's their number one option.
He's going to go from one of the most stacked offenses, one of the best offensive lines, one of the most steady offenses to, I don't know.
Being double covered.
Right, to being the guy. I don't know.
To being the guy when you don't really have a top flight quarterback yet.
Mm-hmm.
Keeping our eye on that one. All right, so we didn't get to it yet, but we will get to it. We all put together a list of our 5 storylines going into the NFL season of the stories that the 3 of us individually are all going to be following all year long. We'll get to those lists coming right back.
Recently, I feel like I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not making bad swings. I don't feel like I'm making terrible decisions, and just had got a little bit of a streak of bad luck on par 5s. Didn't birdie any of them at the Open, didn't birdie any of them today. It's just, and I didn't feel like I did anything terribly wrong, right? But that's just golf. It happens. What's done is done, and this week is the most important week of the year right now.
If he lands it pin high, he's going to be off over the pin position and leave himself a tough putt there. That should bite now. He didn't like it by the looks of it, but he'll love it when he sees it.
Just got this before that bunker. Put himself in a good position.
Just a tiny little baby fade, ideally placed.
To tie the lead at 16. Playing well, isn't he, John Rahm?
And OMG, what a championship Sunday we just witnessed.
Win, right? Selfishly, you always want to get that done, but you don't want to see a teammate and a good friend, missing a putt for that happening for me.
The Live Golf League delivers every single event, doesn't it? I mean, what an incredible finish there. You know what, Tyrrell Hatton, I feel for him. He's been playing beautiful golf. In fact, since Miami, he's been the best player in our league based on the strokes gained metric.
I'm really happy that I had my first Live Golf win. Now that Kelly and the kids are watching, just knowing that I'm bringing the trophy home for them, it feels good to say that it's coming home.
Everybody waiting in anticipation, dog. We come back from commercial. Still nothing?
And did I break up there? Is that what happened?
Yes, it's all good. And you started by saying, like I said prior to the break, I said prior to the break that all 3 of us put together a list of 5 storylines that we're looking at for the NFL season. Things that we'll look at from the day 1 kickoff till the very end of the year. 5. I probably could have come up with 20, but we all asked to come up with 5. Scott Farrell is going to join us at the top of the hour. Would you guys like to put out these 5 storylines right now, and then we can come back to them after Scott Farrell? Yeah,
what do you think about
that? Let's do it. Let's do it right now.
Let's start with Browners. These are Browners' top 5 storylines going into the NFL season. Browner, you can walk us through them. Let's take a look at them on the screen. And for everybody that's listening, Browner will give us 5 through 1. Go ahead, Brown.
Number 5. Who's worth that money? Tua, Love, Lawrence, all got big contracts. Will they live up to the money this season? Number 4, C.J. Stroud will be average this year. Mark it down. Kyler Murray will be MVP. That's number 3. Number 2, Caleb Williams will struggle out the gate. That's number 2. And number 1, will Justin Fields start the season as the Steelers quarterback?
All right. Those are good. Put those up one more time. Those are good storylines. I think it's a great question. Tua, Love, Lawrence, all these young guys that got big money, are these guys that are now the top paid quarterbacks in the NFL, are they really worth it? CJ Stroud, great last year. Will he come backwards in his sophomore year? We'll find out. Kyler Murray, he's got a new weapon, certainly. So that's interesting. I don't know about being MVP, but I love the prediction. Caleb Williams will struggle. I mean, kind of expect that. But then there's other people that think Caleb Williams is going to lead the Bears to a division title. I think these people are crazy. Then lastly, Justin Fields, Russell Wilson, the Steelers quarterback situation. I love that storyline. I think that's a great one.
And let me add a little something into this mix about Caleb Williams. They have 5 offensive linemen who are supposed to be their starters. 4 of them are already hurt.
Well, that's the same situation the Rams find themselves in. Rams not only have, Puka Nacua is the star. He's the name. He's the likable face of the Rams who got hurt this past weekend in a joint practice against the Chargers. But, if you're really a Rams fan, you're probably less concerned about Puka, even though he's so popular. And you're probably more concerned about 3 of your 5 starting offensive linemen are missing time in training camp. All right, Alex, why don't we take a look at your 5 storylines?
Yeah, I'm very curious about this new kickoff rule, to be honest with you guys. After watching the Hall of Fame game, is this going to be a game changer or a dud? So far, it was a dud, but we'll see what happens when smart teams start playing. The similar number 4, is the 2024 quarterback class going to be like the 2020 class or like the 2021 class? So are these new guys going to be the Burrow, Herbert, Tua, Hurts, Jordan Love, or are they going to be the Mac Jones thing? For me, I think Jim Harbaugh is going to be a story all year long. I just think he just brings that kind of attention. And number 2, kind of like Browner, I think I kind of framed it. Who's going to be the biggest bust? Because of all these guys that signed contracts this offseason, Trevor Lawrence, Jordan Love, Tua, Jared Goff, Kirk Cousins, and Baker Mayfield, there's going to be a lot of busts there. There's no way they're all going to pan out. And really, does any of this matter? Or are the Chiefs going to just three-peat and just do their thing like they do every year?
Yeah, good question. I love that list. That's a great list. I love the question about the quarterbacks that got paid and which ones will actually earn the money and which ones will be like, oh, wow, that was a big disaster.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
And you know who I think is in the worst position of all of them is I think it's Kirk Cousins. Because when they drafted Michael Penix Jr., I'm like, what are they doing? They signed an experienced veteran free agent, albeit coming off of an Achilles injury, to draft a first-round quarterback that no one expected to go.
And they didn't tell him.
And they didn't tell him.
But they have they have the most young and explosive weapons in the NFL. Keep in mind, I said youth.
Yep.
Let me give you my top 5. Here goes. Will the Browns and Deshaun Watson be back? Deshaun Watson hasn't done anything since he's gotten to Cleveland. Nothing.
Leave Deshaun alone, dog.
But I just want to know if he's ever going to come back to being who he was. Number 4, how will Jim Harbaugh handle the potential charging? Like you, Alex, I've got Harbaugh on my list because to me he's entertaining, he's funny, but it's going to be interesting to see, can Harbaugh, with all of his experience and all of his success, overcome Charger ownership and history? Number 3, will Aaron Rodgers ever be MVP level with the Jets? 4 plays last year, 3 plays, whatever it was, torn Achilles, gone all year, missing mini camps, becoming unlikable to a lot of people. Does Aaron Rodgers come back to being the player he was in Green Bay? That's my number 3. Number 2, since we were just talking about the Patriots, what are the Patriots now in their first year minus Bill Belichick? It's been 20 years that Bill Belichick was with the Patriots, all the Super Bowl appearances. What will the Patriots be in the post-Belichick era? And my number 1 story that I'm going to follow all year long is Tom Brady, the number 1 analyst on Fox. It doesn't have anything to do with football in terms of actually playing, but what is Brady as an analyst? Will he be good like I think he can be, or will he be bad like a lot of other people predict he will be? Those are our top 5 storylines. Top of the hour, Scott Farrell coming. This is Kaplan and Crew.